Alright, so I just got to Backcountry campsite number 6. It was a very muddy trail all the way here. It rained all day. The rain just let up this afternoon before I came in. I got in a little later than I had hoped, so I'm gonna go ahead and get camp set up here, and I will come back later on and do a campsite by campsite tour of the backcountry loop here at Cloudland Canyon. Alright, so I got camp set up before dark here. Should be sundown anytime now. Got a fire going, got my kindling and wood gathered. About to partake in some Backpacker's Pantry pad thai. My first time having this particular meal. I've been told it's good, so we'll find out. But I am exhausted. I did have a little mishap hanging my bear bag. First, the carabiner got stuck on an unintended branch, and luckily I was able to climb the tree high enough to reach it with my trekking pole to push it back over the branch and rethrow it. Then once I finally got it rethrown over the correct branch, and I was pulling up my food bag, after I pulled this out, the cord on the food bag snapped and the food bag just came straight down to the ground. It was the Ursack Minor, has a little loop on it. I've been using it for years now and never had a problem, but I guess it finally had enough. So after my pad thai, I'm gonna have a Tootsie Pop for dessert, because that is my new tradition on the trail. Thanks to Ron from Ron's Appalachian Trail Shuttle, who provided these on one of my Appalachian Trail trips. I now can't live without it when backpacking. And then I'm going to finish the night with a nice cup of peppermint tea before I go to bed. It's still really cloudy. The temperature right now is 39. It's supposed to get down to the mid-20s tonight. So as soon as the sun goes down and I'm fed, and I'll probably sit around the fire for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to go to bed. Tomorrow the plan is to get up. The sun is supposed to be out, and I'm going to try to make a tour video of this backcountry loop. It's a lot more spread out than I thought it was going to be, which I'm thankful for. I was a little concerned that the campsites were going to be really close to each other, but they're certainly not, and they're definitely very private. Most of the campsites also have a water source running right next to them, so that's very convenient. But other than that, I'm going to heat up my water for my dinner here and sit by the fire a few minutes, drink my tea, and then I'm going to bed. It's only 9 o'clock or so, and it's cold. I can't feel my face anymore. I'm gonna go to bed. Good morning. I just climbed out of my tent. It's 27 degrees. I slept really well last night. I decided I'd climb out this morning and get a fire going first thing, obviously because I'm cold. And I did not realize that Bic lighters do not work well below freezing. In fact, it wouldn't work at all initially. But that makes sense, since isobutane doesn't work below freezing very well. It would only make sense that the lighter doesn't as well. So, had to warm that up in my pocket for a little bit with a hand warmer. Finally got the lighter going, so I got a fire going. Next thing on my to-do list was to go down and get my bear bag. My bear bag rope was frozen to the branch, and I didn't quite have enough leverage to break it free initially, so I kind of had to do a a dancing act out there in between two trees with the rope in order to break it free and release the bag. So that was kind of comical. Now that the bag is down, let's see if I can flip my camera around. It's finally defrosting now, but it is full of ice, and the buckle initially was iced over. I don't understand why, unless there was some water running down the tree to the rope or the carabiner right where the buckle was, but it looks like it's finally defrosted. I can probably open it now, yes. Yeah, so the challenges of a Florida boy out in below freezing conditions. Good news is, fire's going, it's nice and hot. I'm gonna hopefully warm up my stove fuel here so I can make some coffee and some oatmeal and carry on about my day. First, my oatmeal. Yes, and a little hot water for my coffee. I got banana nut protein oatmeal here. And I already know it's going to be delicious. A little bit more water in there. My food bag is not normally this large, but the Ursack Miner right here that I usually use to hang my food in so that the mice don't shimmy down and chew a hole through it. The string broke on it as I was hanging it yesterday, so I had to use my pack liner. What will I have for dinner tonight? Yeah, I have a lot of food I like to eat. I think I'll do rice and chicken right on top there. Good old mountain house. Easy, not so cheap, but very filling and calorie dense. So, can't forget dessert too. I think I'll do a Snickers. Yeah, Snickers. Good morning from day number 3. It's a little warmer this morning at 29. My food bag, I was able to get it down. It was a little icy, but came right down. Probably wore a nice little gouge in the tree where the line goes. But now I am heating up some water for my coffee and oatmeal. Hopefully that'll warm my bones up. My GoPro is working this morning because I slept with it last night. And after breakfast, I'm going to skip a fire this morning just so that I can get out of camp early because it's fishing day. I scoped out the Catfish Pond yesterday. It's very small, but it looks like it'll be productive if the fish are hungry today. So as soon as I'm done with breakfast, I'm going to head out of here, head to the Catfish Pond, and test my luck. I'll see you there. So when I was researching this backcountry loop online, as well as the park in general, I couldn't find much about the Catfish Pond. So yesterday I went and checked it out. It is very small. But according to the brochure, it is stocked year-round and catch and release. So to get to the trail, or I should say to get to the pond, you can get to it directly from the backcountry trail, which we're on right now. If you look at the sign for the Bear Creek Trail, you'll see the little fishing symbol. The Bear Creek Trail cuts off of the backcountry trail, and it's just a very short distance to the pond while you're on the Bear Creek Trail. That was the first hiker I've seen, or I should say the first backpacker. I've seen a few day hikers. We just cut off of the Bear Creek Trail onto this little side trail. And there is the Catfish Pond. That right there is the observation tower. As you can see, compared to most parks, it's a very small tower. Well, water level's pretty high thanks to all the rain that we've had. There is this little loop trail that goes around this small pond here. A portion of it is underwater right now. Let me find myself a spot and get to fishing. Alright, so I got me a cat. The little one. See if I can get him without getting spined here. Come on, open that mouth up. You know what? I'll just come in from back here. Catfish, you gotta watch out for this dorsal spine right here and these two pectoral spines. See, he's trying to get me, but he's a pretty nice guy. Tiny. He'd make a small meal though. He gone. Got me another small cat here. Hooked him right behind the eye. Try to get that out of there. Yeah, don't try to stab me, you little turd. Right under the eye, I guess I should say. Easy. Another little blue cat. I'm back. I forgot to mention, it's headed to Backcountry Campsite 12, which is on the Bear Creek Trail. The Bear Creek Trail, I'm about a mile into it, and it has been super steep, so I couldn't really pull out the camera. But it just leveled off for just a minute here, so. The Bear Creek Trail is marked by these orange blazes. I was told that you have to ford the Bear Creek to get across to get to the campsite. And I was told because of the rains that might not be possible because it may be over waist deep, at which point the crossing is closed. There is no bridge. There is no stone hopping. It's always ankle to waist deep, apparently. But if it's anything more than about knee deep, I'm not going to do it, just because of how cold it is right now and how much time is left in the day to dry out. So when we get there, I'll come back to you unless I see anything magnificent. Coming down, it's been very rocky, rooty, and technical, similar to what you generally see on the AT, but I was not expecting it to be this steep. But by the sound of the water rushing and what I see so far, including this waterfall I hope to get to, I don't think I'll be crossing. Alright, Bear Creek Trail to the right. Oh wow. All right, let me drop the pack and let's explore this. This is just incredible down here. I don't know if you can hear me, it is very loud. But this is well worth the hike down here and the hike back up, which is gonna suck. Absolutely beautiful. Almost untouched. This is not a tourist area per se. Not a lot of people come back here. I'm thankful that I was able to make it back here. Just beautiful. So finding my way back up out of here, back to the backcountry trail is going to be pretty difficult. Came from all the way up there on the other side of this mountain. But we don't have a choice and I'm running out of daylight. I'll see you back at camp. Alright, day 3. I'm back at campsite number 6, backcountry campsite number 6. The Bear Creek Trail kicked my butt. I am beat. I'm going to filter some water, make some dinner, start a fire, just hang out a little while, do some crosswords, and then go to bed. It's like tonight we're going to be having a ramen bomb. Got some ramen, some chicken, some potatoes, and of course some Tootsie Pops for dessert. And I'll follow it up with an RX bar just before bed. Other than that, I think I'm at one of the most beautiful campsites here on the backcountry trail, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of the night. Good morning. Significant improvement in temperature this morning. It's 39 instead of what was yesterday, 29. But I feel colder. Maybe it's more humid, I don't know. But either way, I am waiting on my water to boil for my coffee and my oatmeal. Then I'm gonna pack up and head out of here. I'm gonna head up to the Waterfalls Trail, which is off of the West Rim Loop. So yeah, that's gonna be my day. Checking out the waterfalls, checking out the West Rim Loop, and then tonight I will check into a car camping site just for the final night before I head home. So, all right. Alright, we are at the main trailhead, just up from the parking lot. We're going to be taking the West Rim Loop Trail to the Waterfalls Trail and then back out. But just starting at the trailhead. Gorgeous view of the canyon here. And there's the trail going up. I've made it to campsite 8 on the West Rim Loop. Campsite 8 is has a gravel pad. It's one thing I don't like about Georgia state parks is most of their pads are gravel because they're co-use RVs, campers, and tents. And it makes it kind of a pain for tents to get staked down on the gravel. But I'm used to it, so I bring a hammer and extra heavy-duty stakes. This tent site has a picnic table and a fire ring off to the side that I'll be utilizing in a little while. But this is my home for the night, and I will be returning home to Florida tomorrow. That is the end of this trip.